Hey YouTube, it's Annabelle. So I know it's been a while since you guys have seen me, and my son is now 10 weeks old, and everything has just been chaotic at my house, and we've just been so busy trying to get stuff like done, and we've just had things that we've had to do and go and see people and all that kind of stuff. I have not had time to make his 2-month update, so I'm going to do that right now. He is sleeping. He just fell asleep. So I'm not going to get him up to show him to you guys, but I will have him in future videos. But I did want to do a 2-month update for him, just for me and like record and family and friends that watch. This is an update for you guys on how he's doing as well. So as for sleeping, he is still not sleeping through the night consistently. He is sleeping through the night probably 2 or 3 days a week. We did have a bout of infant constipation, which I will do a video explaining a little bit more on what we tried and when it ended up working and things like that. I will do that video next. But he did have some infant constipation a few weeks ago. And so we resolved that issue, and he is doing great now. So that had like a lot to do with kind of the change in his schedule. He wasn't, when he was having the constipation, he wasn't sleeping through the night, and then ever since then he's kind of just not been sleeping through the night. It's only about 3 days a week. So I wish it was more than that, but when he is waking up at night, it is usually between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning, which I usually wake up around 6 anyways, so it's just a couple hours to a few hours before we normally get up, so it's not really that big of a deal. However, I am exhausted. I am finding that with how busy we've been and just waking up and trying to get everything done that needs to be done, and with like our to-do list and just going, traveling, leaving, all that kind of stuff, I'm really like worn out. And so even with him waking up one time a night, like I am super tired. Like, I don't know if you can see, like I've got like these nice like fluffy things. But anyways, so that's how he's kind of doing. With sleeping during the day, we have moved him into like kind of a daily schedule where he sleeps anywhere from like, well, he falls asleep around 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we like either wake him up or he's getting up on his own about an hour later. And he is sleeping during my daughter's long nap, which is from 12:30 to 3. And that's her only nap. But he is sleeping for the majority of that. He usually wakes up a little bit earlier than what she does, but that's fine because I can get him changed and get a bottle and all that kind of stuff before I get her up. So it all works out pretty good. And then he is snoozing, which is right now, anywhere from like 5 to 6, and even sometimes till 6:30 in the evening, and then he's up until it's time for bed. And what we are doing right now is we are putting my daughter to bed and then putting him to bed. So he is going to sleep around 9, sometimes 9:30. It depends on kind of how he slept during the day, but he is like developing a pretty consistent schedule from a day-to-day basis too. So that is going well. Let's see, what else? He is drinking anywhere from 2 to 5 ounces. There's only been a couple days where he's actually downed all 5 ounces. I always put 5 ounces in his bottle, so however much he wants is available to him. But he drinks anywhere from 2 to 5. If it's been a while, he'll drink the 5, or 4 is usually like more likely right now. But it's always at least 2 ounces. And if he kind of like snacks a little bit. It seems like he eats quite often. He has yet to be dependent on a pacifier. We have given him the pacifier just a few times, and we still have it as a just in case of an emergency kind of thing. And I did have it in his car seat the last time my husband took him back to his parents' house, and somebody found the pacifier and gave it to him. And like, he took it, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, if I was there, I would have just been like, no, don't give him the pacifier. And I have nothing against people who use pacifiers. I personally do not want my kids to use pacifiers, only in cases of emergency. So far, that has been the case. My daughter would not take a pacifier at all. She just didn't want it in her mouth, nothing. If there wasn't something coming out of it, she didn't want it in her mouth. But my son, he did have it a few times. He did have it during his hearing test at the hospital, so he would stay quiet and not move around as much. And he had it a couple times where I didn't have any milk for him, and so I did give him the pacifier. That happened like 3 times, I think. 2 or 3 times. And then he did have it within the last week again, at my mother-in-law's house. But otherwise, we've been pacifier free, and I'm just so very thankful. He's been like sucking really hard on his bottle. I don't want to move him up to the next size of Flo, like the size of nipple hole for Flo, because I don't want him to get like relaxed, I guess, while he's eating, so that way he still nurses well at night, because he does nurse at night, and then if he wakes up overnight. So I am still pumping during the day and giving him a bottle during the day, and then he is nursing. And we have had no problems with latch or anything like that thus far. And again, I'm so thankful for that as well. And he is just growing and just changing so much. We took his 2-month pictures a couple weeks ago, and they turned out fabulous. He is looking more and more like my daughter. He does have his own special look, but from certain directions and things like that, he looks exactly like my daughter. And it's so kind of crazy to see that, because when I look at him, I see my daughter, and I just like, it's just great. But again, he is 10 weeks old, so we are having his 3-month pictures here on the 20th of this month. So I'm very excited for that. Is upcoming. We're going to do little like bathtub kind of themed pictures for his 3-month pictures. We did the same thing with my daughter. Hers was a bathtub theme, but her theme was yellow. And his bathtub theme is going to be like fire trucks fireman, because we have like a fireman towel, and it looks like a little fireman's hat, and then it wraps around, and we have a little duck that's a little like fireman. So his colors are going to be kind of like red and yellow for his 3-month pictures. So I'm very excited to take those. But anyways, that's upcoming. He is gigantic. He is in 6-month sleepers. He weighs almost 14 pounds. And he's just growing like crazy. I cannot believe how big he is already. And I am still squeezing him into 3 to 6 month onesies, because they're so cute and they say different things on him. And I really want him to wear them for at least a little bit. But I'm thinking that next week I am going to have to put all the 3 to 6 month stuff away and get out the 6 to 9 and some 9-month stuff too, so that way we have that whenever he's ready to jump into those clothes, because that's what it seems like he's doing. He seems like he's jumping into sizes, and it's just crazy. And he's like, well, he's 10 weeks now, but 2 months old, and he's already so big. He has started to, he will like smile when you come up to him and talk to him. So he smiles, and he has giggled. We got him to giggle, and it's just the most precious thing ever. He was giggling just like here and there, just randomly, but now if you play with his feet and kind of like jumble him around a little bit, he will actually giggle. It is so cute. He has facial expressions exactly like my daughter's. They're just wide ranged and just with eyebrows and big eyes and small eyes and kind of puzzled looks and smiles and just kind of things. And it's so great to see, and it makes me so happy. But we are working on right now is we are doing like throughout the day, we're doing like floor play where he's on his back, like looking at different things. He loves to look at little lights. We have a floor gym that has lights on the bottom of it, and he's starting to kick his feet at stuff. He doesn't like anything touching his feet when he sleeps, but when he is up and playing, he likes to have something to kick at. And he's also like, not intentionally, but his arms are throwing up at like different toys and making them move, and he's like smiling at this little duck that he'll like swing his hand and it'll hit it, and then it moves and he'll like smile at it. So that's like, it's unintentional still because he doesn't quite have the mastered like movement that he has arms, but he's starting to do a lot more stuff on his back. I'm waiting for him to lose all of his hair. My daughter lost like a line of hair from rubbing all the time from like being on her back, but he has only lost his hair like right up here is where he is losing his hair. And what else we are doing is he is doing tummy time. He does not like tummy time a whole lot. He has to be like fed and happy for him to stay on his tummy for more than just a few minutes. Otherwise, if he's either hungry or not in the best mood, he does not like tummy time at all. So we do tummy time flat on the floor, and we also do tummy time up on a bobby pillow. So he's kind of up a little bit because he's getting really good neck control where he can like lift up, and I can stick toys and things, or my daughter or myself or my husband in front of him, and he will actually lift up his head and like look around and things like that. We also are, to help with his head, we also are sticking him in our bumbo chair. So we're doing that as well. So as soon as he has pretty good head control, we're going to start putting him in our exerciser. And like when his feet can be flat on the ground in his exerciser. But I can't wait for that phase. I loved the exerciser phase with my daughter. She loved to jump and play and bite on all the toys, and she just had a riot in that thing. And with how he's growing so fast and just getting so big, he's going to be in it before I know it. So I'm taking all of this time to like absorb everything that he's doing, and I just stare at him. And it's with my daughter, I wanted her to do the next thing and the next thing. And I know I've said this quite often, but with him, it's more relaxed, and I'm just letting him do whatever he wants to do and like cherishing every little moment of the stage that he's at, because I know he's going to be at the next one in a blink of an eye. So we are just having so much fun with him, and it's just awesome. Just a few other things that I had written down is we are only swaddling him at nighttime. He sleeps better if he's swaddled. We do leave if it's daytime, we don't usually have it real dark. We still have the lights on, and we'll probably do that for at least a few more months until he like starts consistently sleeping through the night, like every single night. We're going to try to keep those lights on during the day and keep the lights dim in the evening. So as soon as it hits around 7, that's when we kind of start dimming everything and like getting the tone set, or whatever you want to call it, for nighttime for him, to kind of help with the transition or whatever to sleeping all the way through the night. But sorry, again, it's just so awesome that he's doing so well. I can't wait for his next appointment to see like how much he officially weighs, which we still have another month and a half before his next appointment. But as soon as that happens, I will let you guys know all of that kind of stuff. we did have 2-month shots as well. He did so much better than what my daughter did. My daughter's first round of shots, she completely bawled, absolutely bawled. And then she like fell asleep, and then she woke up and she was horrible. I felt so unbelievably bad for her the rest of the evening. She did not handle them well, but all the rest of her shots she handled well. With my son, he cried and he like held his breath and was like then like gasping for air for a few minutes after the shots were given, but then afterwards he was fine, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's gonna be just like so awful and hurting and like horrible like mood and everything tonight, and that wasn't the case. He did wonderful with them. So just the initial prick and just like the whole like experience just kind of rattled him a little bit, but he did awesome. And as soon as he starts like with good head control and things like that, we're going to not have him in the baby bathtub anymore either. And again, he is a sweaty boy. I think I said in my last update that we're giving him baths every other day now, because he's just a sweaty boy and he seems to get like dirtier than what my daughter did. With my daughter, she wasn't like really dirty or like anything like that, and she really didn't sweat a whole lot or anything like that either, except when she was in her car seat. But we only gave her a bath once and maybe twice a week if we had like something going on or something like that. But otherwise, he gets baths every other day, and it's just, I guess, just the difference between first kid, second kid kind of thing. But yeah, anyways, I have to go help. Alright, anyways, if there's any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, that is all I can think of that I had written down now. I will have his 3-month update on time, I promise. But anyways, I will see you guys later. Bye.